Good morning. I think we are live. I believe so. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Grow Intentionally, show on Monday morning. Can we call it show? I don't know. Let's see. It's just, I'm sharing with you what I'm learning on this journey, and I'm sharing with you some thoughts. So this morning, I want to talk to you about an idea that sits on my mind. And in one of his books, John Maxwell says, in order to add value to yourself, you need to see value in yourself. And I have prepared some notes here, just my handwriting on a piece of paper, just to share with you how this played in my life. And think about it. Have you ever bought a book or a study or maybe a CD or something that you wanted to invest time into and never read it or never played, never went on that course? I know I did, and I know I have lots of books in my library which I never read, and I know that was back in probably now was 2009 and 10. There was in Romania one of these magazines, the newspapers actually, they had they republished under a nice brand and with nice leather cover, the 100 most read books of all times, right? And they were like titled like Jules Verne. There were, I don't even know, but many novels that you would say, oh, this is a must read. This is something that we should definitely read. And so what I've done, me and Florina, we invested our money into buying those books. I mean, every week they were releasing a new book with the newspaper, and that was available for sale for a couple of weeks, and then another one is released and so on and so forth. And then the collection is called 100 Titles You Must Have. And I just remembered that we have so if I think and I go back to Romania to my brother's house, in the ceiling um, there is 4 boxes with those books. Among those 100 books, I probably never read more than 4 or 5, but I bought them all. And then when I wanted to buy another book or to take another course, sometimes Florina would challenge me and say, so why do you need another book? Why do you need another course? You have bought so many books and you have not read them, so why do you need another one? And yeah, she had a point, right? And so what that said about me, it said that actually I'm not valuing myself enough to actually put the time and sometimes put the money into learning what it is that I want to learn. And so this idea of you must see value in yourself to add value to yourself, this idea I challenge with, because I wouldn't go and for example take a sales course for myself because I thought I didn't worth it that. Or for example, let me say this. Maybe this has nothing to do with personal growth and investing in yourself, but when you go and you go out shopping, I used to do not pay attention at all on how I dress, and I used to do not care at all about what brand the a shirt that I would buy or maybe a pair of pants that I would buy would be, and it wouldn't matter for me. I said they look fine, and then fine was fine enough. But and many times in our life we were in a situation where we didn't afford it actually to buy new clothes. And I remember when we were in college, and this was in 2006 and 7, we were in Craiova, And there in Craiova, you had this flea market, and there were a lot of clothes, really good ones, and good producers brought from probably Germany or something like that, and sneakers. And there were sneakers that you couldn't, maybe you couldn't find in a store, and secondly you couldn't afford as a student. And we went there, and we, it was every Sunday. So every Sunday morning we went there, and we wander around all the merchants and looking for things that look good enough, even if they're used. So we bought used clothes, and what that did, what that said, it said I don't value myself enough to buy new clothes. Think about it. When you go shopping, do you look for the most expensive things in the shop? I can use this parallel. Do you buy at Louis Vuitton, or do you buy at Walmart, or wherever that shop is, or here in Sweden, do you go and go at I don't know, Kapal, or do you go at a high-end store or designer store? Where do you go? Because that says a lot about how much you value yourself. Being willing to invest maybe 2,000 crowns, which is 200 euros, into a pair of shoes, says a lot about how much you value yourself, and you're worth it of that investment. And it's no difference when it comes to growth. It's exactly the same. So in order for you to see yourself, to actually invest in yourself, and go to an event, like for example, come to our next event here in Gothenburg, Live to Lead. In order for you to do that and invest $99 to do that, you have to see yourself being worth it of that investment. And this is something that we're most often not aware of. We don't know that. I mean, no one tells us. I mean, if you don't do that, if you don't go to this event, it's because you don't see yourself being worth it of that. No, we found excuses. Oh, I don't have the time. Oh, the time is not right. Oh, if it was another date, that was good. But now, 15th of November, no, that's impossible. I have customer meetings. Oh, I have something else planned. Oh, it's that weekend. And so we find our other excuses to justify why we don't invest $99 or euros into a half-day event that will change your life. But you think, yeah, but that it says leadership in the title, so I'm not a leader. I'm not in a position of leadership position, so nah, I don't think it's for me. But what you're saying is, I will never be in a leadership position, because you don't need to be in a leadership position to invest in yourself. You don't need to be a business owner to start investing in yourself. You don't need to be a manager. You don't need to be a leader in any way to invest in yourself. You are leading your life. But that's enough of a requirement for you to start investing in yourself. So what I'm saying is that whenever you are reluctant into investing in something which is on yourself, right? I'm not saying even if you buy a car for yourself, if you look of buying the cheapest car, that says a lot about how much you value yourself. And so I was in a situation where I didn't value myself, and throughout my early career, actually, and my school and high school, I followed what my dad wanted. So when I went into high school, he said, "No, I don't trust you. You're no, I don't trust you. You need to come to our high school." So he's a high school teacher. He teaches mechanics in a high school in Romania, in Curtea de Argeș, my hometown. And he said, "No, you should come to this school because I can watch you. I can keep an eye on you. I can ask the teachers to keep an eye on you. So in this way, I mean, I was there. He could have an eye on me, and so this school had an automotive mechanical profile, and so okay, that was then the profile that I chosen because I follow my father advice, and then naturally for me after finishing high school, automotive high school, I say okay, so naturally the next logical step is to go into a university and study again automotive, right? Automotive high school, automotive, engineering, university. So I went into university and started to study that. I finished university and went into, of course, automotive industry company. So I went start working for Dacia and Renault in Romania. That was in 2007. So I followed this path where I didn't really, I didn't know myself. And again, for you to be able to add value to yourself, you also need to know yourself, to value yourself, and know that you're worth it, and then that you can do whatever you want to do. And so I wouldn't see myself as someone that would be able to have this, for example, call here, or share this with you and speak about my journey in working with people, because until that time, although I seem to have some skills and some gifts to work well with people, I wouldn't see myself there. I would follow the path and go towards being a technical expert. And so in 2011, our department manager Eric Lyotard saw in me something that I couldn't see myself. And so if you don't see value in yourself, I think you want to go on the borrowed belief of someone else. If you don't believe being good enough, if you don't believe that you're good enough to do something, or if you don't believe you're worth it into coming to Live to Lead, or taking a next course, or buying that book, you need to have a borrowed belief from someone else. You need to do that on a borrowed belief. If you don't have that belief, then borrow it. And so what I've done, unconsciously, of course, now I'm telling you this because I look back and I analyze what happened in my life, but at that moment, I was not aware of what I'm doing. So what I've done, I have started to see myself more of a people person, and more of a, now I will say leader, but I wouldn't use that term back then. I would probably say maybe manager, or not even. But when Eric Lyotard, share with me and propose me, okay, so I think, Florin, you're more gifted to work with people than to be a technical expert, because that was my career path. I wanted to go into a technical expertise, become an expert on a field that I was working on. And so Eric saw something in me that I couldn't see myself. And then on the borrowed belief of Eric, then I started to see value in myself, and I started to invest in myself. And then the rest is history. Not really. And I share with some of you which are in my community and are receiving my emails. I share with you, why I'm so, obsessed with John Maxwell and John Maxwell team, because John Maxwell, in one of his books, changed my life. And I share this with you, and probably I will share with you on another live sometime. But everything started with someone seeing value in me and sharing that with me, and me acting on the borrowed belief of someone else. So now, if you don't see value in yourself, you don't feel that you're worth it to buy another book, to buy another course, to come to Live to Lead, to invest in maybe whatever it's your next step, then find someone, find a mentor, find a coach, find someone in your life, find a voice and stick to that voice. A voice that would, support you, a voice that believes in you, and act on the borrowed belief of that person. Now, I believe in you. I believe in your dream, and you can do it. And if you keep showing up on these calls and you interact and you know internalize this, you can do it. And you will become the best version of yourself. Thank you for tuning in. I hope this helped you. I hope it gives you some ideas. And if you struggle with that, and if you need someone, if you need the voice to speak into your life, and if you need a accountability partner, just drop me a line. I'll be glad to help you. Thank you for tuning in. Take care. Bye bye. Speak soon.